real quick. Sorry about that, everybody online. So CB Desk is where you're starting. Moxi Works is the tile you're clicking on. This stuff won't go away. There we go. All right, and then in this blue header up here, you're going to click Present. And this takes you to Moxi Presents. Like I was saying, that you all online couldn't hear, this is a platform that we had before we used Moxi for our website and for our CRM. And also, if you're in here and you're like, oh, I can't update my bio, that's because it's pulling from your CB Desk profile. So just make sure that's the one that you're updating. So once you're in here, we're going through seller presentations today, but there are buyer presentations as well. You're hitting Create New, clicking on Seller. Sorry, you two in person. It's going to give you this brokerage template default. Go down here to Coldwell Banker parent company templates. It'll give you more templates to use. And just an FYI, so they did just update Listing Concierge with that YouTube instead of the TV advertising. So they're still working on some of the marketing material for that. So once that is completed, they will actually have like your bronze, silver, gold packages in a condensed version in here as well. So when that's done, we'll let you all know. But as for right now, they have the single page stuff, and I actually created a page for all of you that if you want to use it, a one page that has the YouTube and all the other advertising on it instead of just that TV advertising, since we're not doing that anymore. So click this 52-page one. I know that's a lot. We'll dial it back, but it's giving you all the information or all the marketing materials that you could possibly want. And then you tailor it to however you want your listing presentation to look. So hit continue. You're going to name this training. Let's do this again. Create. All right, so you can create a full listing presentation here through here using comps from the MLS because this is tied to the MLS. All right, I think that's back to where we were before I unmuted myself. So let me just grab an MLS number. Well, I guess you wouldn't have an MLS number if you're about to go list it, but this, you can pull comps for buyers as well. So let's just add an address in here. We'll just use the office address because that's gonna be easy enough. I know that's not an actual house, but you can fill all this information in that you have for the property if you're going to use this platform for comps, right? So again, I know it's not an accurate representation because this isn't a house here, but we're gonna go with that. Square footage, and you can find all of this with public records, obviously. Once you have all of this information in here filled out, you can even add remarks, all that kind of stuff. You're going to hit continue. So what this is going to do, it's going to mark your location here, and then it's going to give you comps throughout the area, right? So, you know, you can use multiple different platforms to pull your comps. It's just whatever your preference is, honestly. So filters, you can dial it in a little bit more. This is going to give you a range. So as you saw, I put 1,800 for the square feet. So this took it from 1,500 to 2,100. And property types, if you're doing a townhouse, condo, you can put those in as well. It's going to do the last 6 months over here. So again, this is no different than a lot of the other platforms. It's just dialing in your comps however you want to. Hit apply. It's going to populate and show you them here on this map. When you're ready to add them to your presentation, you just go ahead and click the plus sign, and then it automatically adds the comps to your house or to your presentation there. So I chose 3. Once you're done with that, obviously you want to make sure you're choosing the correct comps. Just for time purposes, I'm just going to select 3 random ones. And then we're going to hit continue down here. So this is just going to kind of list your comps out. You can add a custom listing. You know the neighbor sold the house to their family member. You can add that in there. as well. You're like, oh crap, I know there was another one. Let me go find that, add more listings there. Once you have this complete, you're just going to go ahead down here and click continue once again. So this is going to estimate your price based on the comps that you chose, right? So it's going to tell you what it's doing down here to calculate that. If you don't like the idea of giving a specific number, you can create a range. This is kind of cool. I like this. So you can do a percentage range if you wanted to. Hit apply. Once you have that set, you can even do net proceeds in here as well. So that's up here at the top. Continue again. And then this is where it brings you to your presentation. So this is kind of the bread and butter of what I wanted to get to today. So as you see, 51 pages here. That's a little crazy. So it's going to give you a bunch of different marketing material that Coldwell Banker has created. And you can click down through each one of these to decide exactly how you want your presentation to look, right? So you're like, I don't like that one. Maybe that doesn't so much look like our market. All you do is hit X there and that goes away. And then you'll be able to see here. So anytime you X out or add anything, it's always going to give you the number up here of how many pages are in your presentation. So if you have an idea of a page range that you'd like to get it to, I think I said before I unmuted myself, I like to see like 20 or less for me personally, only because I see people's eyes glaze over sometimes when you give them too much information. So again, just click down through, select, deselect what you don't want here. I'm just going to remove a bunch of them to get us down to a reasonable number. And there are additional options in here as well. So since we just changed out this TV advertising for YouTube advertising, I created a PDF version where I actually blocked out and put YouTube over the TV advertising that I'm happy to email out to all of you if you want to add that into your presentation. And the way you add something, so if you have something specific to you that's not Coldwell Banker, you can add to this presentation as well. So you click add page here. Add from library means you're adding from Coldwell Banker pages, which we can look at in a second, but you can also create new. And by creating new, you can build a page or you can upload a PDF. I will say this build a page, I would rather see you use Publisher or something like that because it doesn't always turn out where it looks like it belongs in the actual presentation. So if you click upload a PDF here, there we go. All right, choose file, and then you find it on your computer, right? So this is what I was talking about. I created this page where I changed that TV advertising to YouTube advertising. I made it look as close as I possibly could so that it fit in here. But once it loads in, I'll show it to you. So right now these are in web view, and then there's also print view as well. So print view is PDF, web view is going to be that landscape version. Right. Where did it go? Well, it looks like it went up here, but oh, I think that was not the one that I edited. That would make sense. My apologies. Let's try this again. All right. So create new, not build page. I'm clicking too quick. Upload PDF. Choose file. Yeah, I put it on my desktop. That was my downloads. There we go. So the idea of this is that you have one page to show them exactly what you're doing for marketing. There are single pages in here. So I made this look as close as possible. I know the font is slightly off, but unless you're really looking for it, you probably wouldn't notice that. So like I said, I'm happy to send this to all of you if you prefer this one page version. So as you click down through these other advertising pieces, you'll see that there are single page things for each advertising opportunity that we do here. So these are obviously geared towards our listing concierge packages in terms of this type of marketing. So that single property website, the social media stuff that's in here, that's all listing concierge. So if you aren't using listing concierge, these obviously wouldn't be marketing pieces that you would want in your presentation. I strongly suggest listing concierge though, just because I think it's a one-stop shop and it does a lot of the work for you, unless you've paid somebody to handle all of this for you. So again, click through, delete what you don't like. If we want to add from library, again, so I said that was the Coldwell Banker pages that they already have created for us. So as you can see, there's 295 in here. So they're kind of going to be into folders based on what they are. So seller, CB Realty, there's buyer ones, there's pre-listing, there's even some advertising in Spanish, which I think is awesome. We didn't always have that. There's global luxury stuff in here. And then there's a central PA section, Philadelphia. So there's some stuff in here that's not going to apply necessarily to you, but there's definitely other things that if you're like, oh, I really like that. So there's a global reach. And if you don't want to add it to your page before you actually look at it, you can just click on it and it'll show you exactly what that page looks like. Then you can click out and then you come back to here. And you can remove pages from here as well by removing them. Just clicking remove. Cool. There we go. And again, you can click on all of these. I mean, I'm not going to waste everybody's time in clicking through each page just because it obviously takes a little bit of time for them to load. So that would take way too much time. But once you're done and you have your presentation set however you want it to be, again, you can actually like move these as well. So if you want to change the order, you can do that. So if you want to start your presentation and say, you know, here's stuff about Coldwell Banker, here's stuff about me, this is what I'm going to do to list your property, you can organize them in that order, basically. So again, it'll show you how many pages are up here. Choose wisely as far as how many pages you'd like. The cool thing about this is as well, so once you have this template set, right? So you should probably have a pretty solid listing presentation for every sale that for every house that you're listing. Some global luxury is going to be different than other houses, but you can save what you've created here as a template. So you don't have to recreate the wheel every single time that you want to do this. So you hit save template, custom title. So I'm going to name it today's training. That way I don't get confused in the future. And I'm going to go ahead here and hit save. So what that does is when I go back to home and it has all the different presentations that I've created in here, when I hit create new, I'm going to select seller again, hit continue. Now I'm going to find my templates. So I have ones that I've already created, but that one that I just did is now here. I select that, hit continue, and all of those pages, all of that marketing that I put in there is going to be in the same exact order that it was when I just created it. So the idea of this whole platform is to make your life a million times easier. That way, once you create this, you're ready to go. Every time you get a listing appointment, you can just pull comps. If you want to use this platform to put the comps into the presentation, you can do that. If you want to use another platform and then just put those in the same folder, you can absolutely do that as well. So I had said that the way I do it is I have a packet, right? So here's bronze listing concierge packet that I created. I print 5 of those off. They're in my drawer. I get a listing appointment. I just pull comps, put that seller packet in a folder, put the comps in a folder, out the door I go. So it's to save you time in the long run. Getting it set up will take a little bit of time, but the actual, the marketing materials in here makes it look like you have a pretty stellar listing presentation. So any questions? I know I keep my trainings pretty short and to the point just because I want to give you guys the basics and then kind of let you run with it. But any questions? Anybody online have any questions? You guys in person? Yeah.
If one of the pages change, will it change in your packet or not?
So if marketing removes a page, it's going to go away. If they would update it, I'm not 100% on if it automatically updates. If they keep it labeled the same, I would assume that it would automatically update within your presentation. But this isn't something, most of the stuff isn't going to be updated like every month or anything like that. So it's not like you have to go back in and check every single time.
So if they create new pages, how will we know that?
I mean, it's a good idea to come in here and check every now and then. But as long as you're happy with your listing presentation, right? You know, the company comes out with a new tool or a new advertising method, that's probably a good identifier to go in and check to see if we have marketing material for it. Okay. Somebody online said something?
Danielle, it's Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
So you said that they are going to be updating, removing the TV advertising and putting in the YouTube. I saw that you did that. When will they have that updated?
So Betsy is working on that. I was emailing with her last week and she was trying to get me an answer prior to the training today, and unfortunately she didn't. So it should be pretty soon. I mean, it was pretty simple for me to do what I did in Publisher to update that. So I can't imagine it should take too much longer, but I can let everybody know when that's out.
All right. And then the one that you did, are you just going to email that one page to us, or how?
Yes.
All right.
Yep, I'll email that as an attachment, and then you can just add it into your presentation
Yep,
the same way that I did here.
Yep, thanks.
Cool. You're welcome. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah, this is Steve.
Hey, Steve.
If I save as a presentation I built, save it as a template, and say it has a specific property associated with it, can I change that in the template? Will it change everything automatically, or do I have to go through, everything?
So what I suggest doing, if you're not going to use this platform to pull comps, or if you are, go through and create it without putting an address in while you're going in to save it as a template. So for instance, like this one named Seller Packet Bronze, I didn't attach any sort of address to it whatsoever. That was just the name of my presentation. So if you're going to save a template, don't attach a property address to it. But then when you open it up using that template, you can then import an address. And when you create that, it's just going to show up here like all of these other ones as files. It's not going to save your template that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Anybody else have anything? All right, cool. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Sorry about the forgetting to unmute myself at the beginning. I appreciate you for calling me out there, Leon. But if you guys have any questions, if you need to sit down with me in person to help with this, I'm happy to do that. I'll email out this recording as well as that PDF for you guys to use. But otherwise, have a great week. Happy Monday. Thanks again for jumping on.